A light heavyweight bout here to kick us off for the afternoon. Philipe Lins coming in at plus 130 against Maxim Grishin, who's minus 130, over under 2.5 rounds, minus 130 for the over, plus 130 for the under. The 39-year-old Russian, 2-2-1 in his last five against the 37-year-old Philipe Lins, who is 3-2 in his last five. And I think a bit of a resurgence for the guy because he's come back after some time off where he fought in 2020. He lost to Tanner Boser, had a bunch of canceled bouts with Dontel, Ben Rothwell, OSB, Azamat Mirzakhanov. Finally gets a fight against Marcin Prachnio in 2022. Gets a good decision win there, and then gets scheduled against Grishin, canceled. Scheduled against OSP, canceled, and then scheduled against OSP again. And he gets the first round knockout. So, I mean, he's looking pretty solid. I got to say, he looks like he's in great shape. He won that PFL $1 million. So maybe that money kind of went away, and he's like, shit, I got to get some stuff together and then win some fights here. But he showed a lot to believe in after not having a good run there. So his past two fights have looked pretty good. Maxim Grishin, his last win was William Knight in February of 2022. So he's been off for over a year. He's had some canceled bouts. The thing that scares me is they tried to feed him to Jelton Almeida twice. So I don't know what's going on there, why they're trying to get rid of Maxim Grishin. But I like the dog here. I got to say I like the dog. Philipe Lins, he's got a little bit of momentum. And I don't put too much stock in a William Knight win back in February of 2022, which he missed weight by like 18 pounds, I think. William Knight did that fight. And I just think on the feet, he's a little bit more athletic. Philipe Lins is. Grishin's been around for a long time. I mean, he's got damn near over 40 fights. Not a ton in the UFC, 4 fights in the UFC, and he's 2-2. But I just think he's got a little bit more upside. Philipe Lins does coming in this one, a little bit more finishing ability, and he could mix in the wrestling. Smaller cage, it's going to favor him a little bit. So I'll take Philipe Lins as the underdog. And I actually, the more that I think about it, I like it even more. Like just going into this one, I just think he's got the momentum, and it's like a resurgence. He's still young enough where he could have a little bit of a run. Maxim Grishin kind of on the way out, hasn't been as active, so I'll take Philipe Lins. What do you think?
Yeah, at first I was like, man, Maxim Grishin's nearly 40 years old. Like, how much longer is he going to do this? And I look at Philipe Lins, and the dude's like 38, so he's up there too.
Yeah.
The one thing, though, I mean, Grishin against Dustin Jacoby, I believe he nearly finish him in the first round, I believe. Had him hurt, a couple of knockdowns in that fight. Ended up losing via unanimous decision, but striking with Jacoby, we all know Jacoby obviously took the loss, but he's a good striker. Beat William Knight, which is hard to like. I mean, it's just hard to gauge because look what William Knight did against Prachnio in his last fight. And it was kind of a similar story. Like William Knight only landed like 21 strikes in that fight against Grishin. So it's hard to get a read there. Loses the Marcin Tybura, which a fight where, nothing. It was just so boring. So against Philipe Lins, a guy who used to fought a heavyweight, comes to UFC, eventually drops down, and has looked pretty damn good at 205. Beats Prachnio, Oven St. Peru. I feel like both of us talked about that one. We saw that one coming. Philipe Lins is a dog there. Puts him out in the first round, just overwhelms him with pressure and pace, and landed some good shots. He can get takedowns too. I just feel like he's a more well-rounded fighter at this stage in both of these guys' career. I think Grishin, if he doesn't stand in there and get the pace going early with Lins, I think Lins could just kind of put it on him. And similar story to how he finished OSP. I think Lins is kind of on this momentous run, not so much run, but he's had some good fights in his last two. I think he could take that momentum and keep it going. And overall, he just feels like the lot younger fighter, in my opinion, for some reason. Even though the age is similar, he just seems like he's got more left in the tank. So, yeah, give me Philipe Lins for the first fight of the night, especially at plus money.
I like it.